So, after that rant, we go to the next thing. And the next thing was just as fucking bad. So, the next match is for the NWA National Championship. Willie Mack is defending the title against Colt Doom Gloom Go Fuck Off Bananas. And for those who don't know, that's Colt Cabana. And I hate that son of a bitch too. And it was relevant why, right at the very beginning of this match, because Colt's doing his stupid, silly ass shit. He's fucking almost like doing jumping jacks and yelling, and he's got this smile on his face, and he doesn't take anything seriously. Even if his life depended on it, he probably wouldn't be able to take that seriously. So therefore, I'm going to take him seriously. He's a fucking clown. So, Matt goes for a drop kick in the corner. He misses. He flies right through the ropes. He crashes to the floor. Like, that looked very dangerous. It looked painful. This is right at the beginning of the match. It's looking like that was one of those things or one of them bumps that, if sold off, really could have looked like that. That damn near could have ended the match. I mean, this guy splatted onto the floor on the outside of the ring. Well, Mac was selling the, potential injuries at first, but then maybe 2 or 3 minutes later, at least that's all it seemed like, he's back in the ring, and he kips up and he slams Colt. He does a moonsault, acts like nothing ever happened to him. He acted like he didn't just splat on the floor. At that point, once again, I had to pause and I had to leave the room. They could have done something with that. I don't know if that fall like that was, planned to look like that. If it was, then he sold it off and did it very well. If it wasn't, then that's one of them things that could have been incorporated into the match if he was still willing to continue, and obviously he was, because obviously he was fine. There's nothing fucking wrong with him. But after splatting off of the floor like that, you would think that this guy is potentially seriously injured. And they potentially could have stopped this match over that. But no. They threw all sense of realism right out the window. And he just pops right up like a daisy and gets right back into the match. And that's another thing that I absolutely hate nowadays. I can't stand that. Obviously, at this day and age, we all know that this is scripted, that this is, predetermined, and all of that. When I was younger, watching professional wrestling, growing up in the Attitude Era, the lines were blurred to begin with, but I didn't know a lot of the things that I know now, and you go back far enough and a lot of people didn't. As time goes on, not only did they make it more obvious, but they'll straight up tell you that this is all a script and it's all predetermined and everything else. The only thing that I hold on to, why I still continue to watch wrestling, is because I want to watch it and be taking out of, I guess, the reality of it. I want to be able to be sucked in, and I want to be able to think that these guys are, actually fighting each other, or really having an athletic contest. I want them to be able to make me believe in what I'm seeing. I want to believe that it's an athletic contest. I want to believe that they are wrestling each other or fighting each other if it's a feud or a rivalry. I want that sense of reality and realism. I want... I don't want to watch this and believe and know that I'm watching a scripted event or a scripted show. the really good wrestlers or the really good wrestling shows, the programs, the rivalries, the performances are all the ones that, by the way that they execute these maneuvers, by how they sell these maneuvers and, injuries and things like that, their facial expressions, all that, the really good ones will make you forget about the fact that you're watching a staged wrestling match, a performance, and make you actually, for a moment believe that, this could be believable. This could be real. I could actually be watching this and they're actually trying to, beat the other. And that's just not what you get anymore. Now, it's very clear, it's very obvious, it's very apparent that it's just all for show, and that you can't believe anything that they're doing to be legit or real. And this is a prime, perfect example of that. When Willie Mack flies out of the ring, splats to the floor, and jumps right back up like nothing is wrong. Right then and there, I ask myself, why the fuck am I even bothering to watch this? Because there's no way that would actually happen. In a, legit instance. And I know somebody is going to sit there and go, well, obviously, you've already said it. It's not legit. It's all predetermined. It's all staged. Yes, I get that. But professional wrestling, as long as it's been presented as, I guess somewhat entertainment. I mean, you go back far enough, 100 years or whatever, and I'm sure it was a legitimate actual competition, but obviously it hasn't been like that in a long, long time. But still, professional wrestling was supposed to be and supposed to give you the illusion that this was an actual sporting event, an actual competition, an actual wrestling match. And that's why it sold. That's why for 70 years or more, these wrestling organizations were able to sell out venues all over the country and all over the world to hundreds of thousands of people because they believed what they were seeing. This right here completely destroys all that. And it's why I think wrestling is in perhaps the saddest, most pathetic state that it may have ever been in right here in this day and age, is because of shit just like that. So, at that point, again, to get back to this review and back to this match, I kind of went off on a rant there, but I would just want to make everybody aware of my feelings on that, because that legitimately pissed me off. And now that I got that rant out, I feel a little more grounded, a little better. So I almost turned this whole thing off at this point, but again, just like with that other match that I talked about, I turned it back on, but I pretty much tuned out. I heard this spin kick from Mack to Cabana, and that kind of got me back into it again. I started to pay a little bit more attention. I liked that. That looked good. We get a missed frog splash by Mack. You get a missed moonsault by Colt. And then Colt pushes off the Mack to the center of the ring. We get that stupid fucking Superman pin that Colt does so that he can win the match and therefore become the national champion. That stupid Superman pin. That's such a disgrace. It's ridiculous. It's complete bullshit. And after the Mack flopping out on the floor and jumping up like a spring chicken, and the Superman pin, thank fuck this was over. I hated this. I swear, at that point, I was... If I would have been doing, say, a live reaction, reacting to it as I was watching it, I just may have broke shit. And if you could have seen my face, I was probably beat red. I probably looked like one of them cartoons. Beat red in the face, steam coming out of my ears. I just... Fuck this kind of shit. Okay? And the fact that this was for an NWA championship, the NWA national title, it was completely ridiculous. I was pretty sure I was going to wind up with aneurysms after that. And I looked at the time and realized that I still had an hour of this fucking show left to go. Look, again, anything that Ring of Honor is associated with, and anything, at least the matches that Colt Doom Gloom Fuck Off Bananas is associated with, I will not watch. At least his matches in the NWA, I'll skip them. I'll try to watch everything else that, actual NWA is doing, but this, fucking garbage, and I hated it, and I couldn't wait to move on.